discordant behavior, utter nonsensical judgment-making in the face of battle, as well as ignoring orders. These 3 reasons are leveraged against you. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Huh. That's it. I can't say I'm surprised. As your superior, you never did get along. Not with what others thought, despite the chain of command. You're a handful. How many times have I bailed you out? Because I couldn't look at that face after you'd been caught. Listen, I know we've known each other for a long time, but you do realize who I am, right? I'm Jian, not just your childhood friend, Jian, but the commander of this mess, the general, if you want to call me something so high. At this point, it doesn't exactly feel natural to say that, does it? Before all this was organized, your chaotic workings were not an issue. We were just kids trying to survive. We were making the best of it. My master, and by extension, your master, has been watching us. As for what that means for this, I cannot even begin to say. But your actions, they have consequences. So why is it I keep finding you in contempt? Not only of how we run things, but that smug smile as if you've done nothing wrong. Look at me, if you're going to be that defiant. Just what am I supposed to feel? Looking at you like this, I understand a few things right off the bat. Simply because I know you. You don't think you were wrong. Clearly, you think that the law was leveraged against you. That your chaotic behavior was for the best. Explain it. I'll listen. Before anything else happens, I want to hear it out of your mouth. Look, growing up together, I know this isn't proper conduct, but I know you mean well. That's what you call an explanation. Because you could save one more life, you put thousands at risk by risking your own life. It's so you. I'm not surprised. And to an extent, I understand. I could never be okay with sacrificing my own. And while one who is injured in the line of duty, it is their responsibility to extract themselves when put into the dangers of tacit discords and ones who are getting out of hand. Listen, after the incident, I think you should take leave. No, I know with that look in your eyes you're hurt. But I can't always bail you out of this. Don't look at me like that. No, I said no. Not even if you look at me that way. Listen, No, that's not how this goes. Your behavior, well, I know it follows your heart, doesn't make an excuse to put yourself and those you command in that situation. I know it worked out, and I know I'm a bit of a hypocrite for this. But I have to do something. You're not changing this. Don't you look at me like that. And, of course, I've never forgotten. Not even once. What does that have to do with now? You now seducing a superior officer. Again. How many times has this been? Look, I'm aware of what we used to be. But there was a reason why I had to take a break. Not because I wanted to, but because the world needed me. I may have needed you. You tried to be there, but I pushed you away to become what was necessary at the time. Of course, I'm still me. You're always so sneaky with your words, your intentions, hidden behind a manifold of so many things. And now, what? You have me where you want me. What now, little dragon? Do you remember that? Those myriad years before. I could never figure out what to call you. When we were in those slums, just barely getting by. Our dreams of changing the world were nothing more than a pipe dream, and you wouldn't give up. In that way, I can't argue. You're more like the Grand Commander, the General, whatever you want to call the person that they put me, a pedestal, undeserved. My only advantage over you was my level-headedness. You were like fire, like a phoenix that spread your wings no matter what. You refused to accept anything other than the ideal situation. And so many times you've come through. It's why I hate the idea of disciplining you right now. Not only because you don't necessarily deserve it, but also because there's a spirit in you that always transcends those rebellious actions. They're never done purely out of rebellion. They're always done to save someone. And even if you fought 10,000 of them by yourself, that doesn't excuse the impressive. Well, yes, it's impressive. That's astronomical numbers for a single soldier to take down 10,187 tacit discords in 10 minutes. But you did it. And what of that? Your prowess is not under... What do you mean, stuttering? Do you not know the position should be reversed? You're the one who should be stuttering, explaining the charges, why you put them at risk without command. Is this why you hesitated? Why you never accepted the role of true commanding? But every time someone falls, you rise up, fiery, and stubborn. To lead people with pure charisma and skill. Listen, I'm aware of how talented you are. I'm aware of how artful you are on the battlefield and out. You're amazing. You've always been in my eyes. I would have never given you my heart if you weren't. But things are different now. And we have to be aware. Actions always carry consequences. What? Since when? That's besides the point. How is it that you've come to this conclusion? You absolute imbecile. Once again, leveraging the past against me. Or is it just you miss me? I know it's beside the point, and I shouldn't even mention it in passing. But I've also missed the times when we dated. Little Dragon, I never could replace you in my heart. But that still doesn't excuse you risking yourself and potentially leaving your unit without anyone to command. You know, I get complaints every single day from your second in command, right? Absolute lunacy. Not just because I know it's from a place of concern, but because the amount of headaches you cause so many. To call you a troublemaker wouldn't even begin to explain it. Honestly, how do I put up with you? How do I even begin to deal with you? You're impossible, Little Dragon. Every day, lost in the same visage that you never allow anyone else in but me. Is this a sign? That's it. I've determined your punishment. You'll be to report to my unit tomorrow. We'll be promoting your second in command. And for now, you'll be my responsibility. I may have never been able to contain you, but if nothing else, it may be harder for your mischief to have an effect when you run off on your own. When I'm there, I'll be your chain. The collar that binds you, Little Dragon. Is it too ominous? Then so be it. I accept that cross to bear, even if you glare at me. No, I admit it. I miss that expression. The myriad times when you would show it. Or times when I knew you were genuinely enjoying yourself. Contrary to how a layman might view it. I can read you. Shall I call you a little phoenix? Perhaps that fits better, given that fiery temper of yours. Even now, pinning me down because you didn't get your way. Is that how you think diplomacy works? Discipline? It's just a joke to you. That monstrous talent and that absolutely addictive personality. Even I fall for you. All of the P's and Q's I have to cross, only to make you understand a single thing. Or maybe it was I. I might as well be getting disciplined now as well for falling for your blatant attempts at corruption. Listen, my Phoenix, I'll give you another chance. Now that times are less cutthroat, I feel as though genuinely I can protect and... No, I'm not insinuating you're weak. I'm insinuating you need someone to tame you, lest we all be doomed together. Perhaps I was mistaken, and all along I was the one in the taming harness. Your pet dragon, then? How stupid. You always turn it around. You always use kisses to get your way. And words as sneaky as a snake. Slithering through life until you get what you want. And yet I'm just as guilty for falling for the conniving snake that never once let me out of your sights. And all the same, I never let you out of mine. What now, little snake? Will you slither away, back down, with your back against the wall? This whole conversation, I've allowed you to have the upper hand. But what if I steal it from you? This hand under your chin, these lips ever so close. Would you stop me if I breached protocol and kissed you right now? Perhaps it's the ultimatum that I've fallen once again to your seduction, if you wish to call it that. No, I would call it something different, something more honest. An unrequited love, one that deserved a full-fledged chance, and a containing of the monster that you are. Containing you in my arms, that is. The smell of your hair reminds me of back then. You never change with the lilies and the lilacs. Do you still spend your days in the same places? A living nostalgia trip back to when we were little. When we would hold each other when the world was difficult. Far too difficult for what it should have been. But now, we have a place. Zhenjiao. This world. All of it. We can protect all of it. But that's not the most pressing concern, is it? I will have you. Now, tomorrow, and as long as you continue this this endless display, this gaslighting, this blatant abuse of power. And then I suggest you mentally prepare yourself, because I will not be easy on you. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Not in your wildest dreams.